to Tony Katz Tonight. Our next guest, longtime political activist and comic. He has toured on some of the top clubs all across the country. His latest outing is the book, Don't Let the Hippies Shower. There it is, right there. That's actually what he looks like in real life. Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Kruiser is with us. Give him a hand.
It's an honor just to be nominated. What? What's going on?
What?
I don't know.
Being on this show right now is very easy. Soon, the booking will be impossible. Mickey made the show. That, by the way, was a coup.
I made the show, and I didn't even win my Nobel Peace Prize. And I
you can get shot in the face and not win a Nobel Peace Prize.
So that's hardcore.
He's not recommending that you kids at home go out and get shot in the face trying to get a Nobel Peace Prize.
Not all of you.
But it is a technique.
It is a way.
It's a way to get in.
Garner sympathy.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you.
There's so much violence here.
Let's talk about, speaking of violence, the shutdown. Shutdown averted. All is right with the world. You okay with this?
It wasn't really averted. I mean, we shut it down for a little while. Like, there were 17 guys that didn't go to work, and then that one park dude. And
800,000.
800,000, 17. In terms of productivity in the government, same freaking thing. So no, it doesn't matter. It was the biggest waste of everybody's time, as most things political are lately. There's nobody's doing anything anymore.
What was the GOP's plan? If you could elevator pitch it, you know, we're in Los Angeles, we're in Hollywood, you're going to pitch it. You were going to pitch it to Nick Searcy. You're going to elevator pitch this. What was their plan?
Leaderships? Leaderships was...
What leadership?
Leaderships was...
What?
Leaderships was, we're going to bitch about Ted Cruz and change the symbol of the Republican Party from the elephant to the wadded panty. That was leadership's plan, okay? I don't know what anybody else's plan was in this thing, but...
You mentioned Ted Cruz, and there is a group, the MoveOn.org people. Ben, throw this up. They want to charge the GOP with sedition, and here's their headline: Ted Cruz caves on shutdown, but calls it a personal win. Did Ted Cruz, is he the new Sarah Palin? And I don't know it yet.
Well, you know, interesting that you would ask that, Tony, because some people who portray themselves as Republicans have been saying, well, that yes, he is the new Sarah Palin. And they're completely full of crap, okay? Because first of all, Sarah Palin isn't the Sarah Palin that they say she is, okay? Because that's mostly a thing that they made up on their side. Ted Cruz is smarter than them. Ted Cruz has ambition. Ted Cruz doesn't care if he gets reelected. And that's what freaks them out right now. People are going like, I think he's going to have a hard time with his constituents in 6 years. You know what? Ted Cruz isn't thinking about that in 6 years. He's worried about right now. I know Ted Cruz.
You know, you've hung out, you shared a joint together?
He gave me a ride from the airport once. I love the guy. Yeah. You didn't know that?
I'm not saying that Ted Cruz smokes pot. I just want to make sure that's totally, I don't know that he doesn't.
I've never seen Ted Cruz smoke pot. Oh. And I've talked to him quite a few times. But yeah, he's a...
Mickey?
Wait a minute. So Ted Cruz as the new Sarah Palin?
Right.
So you're saying that Ted Cruz is now a super hot lady who makes moose chili? What are we saying?
Ted Cruz...
They are not the same
No,
person.
but think about it. You see the visceral hate they have for Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz is Antichrist. Ted Cruz personally destroyed the Republican Party. Ted Cruz wasted everybody's time. You almost see the playbook kind of opening back up from 2007, 2008 and saying, okay, this is now what we say about him.
Part of that is true, but bless the lefties. They're so knee-jerk right now. I did a thing the other night where they were bitching about Cruz, but I can't remember if it was Talking Points Memo or Media Matters, but they were bitching about Ted Cruz, and then the next thing, they were bitching about Sarah Palin. So they still have to get in this. They're like, oh, we can't leave her alone, and she's irrelevant, but let's bitch about her. Low these many years later.
But to the point of Cruz.
Yes.
He speaks for 21 hours and 19 minutes.
Yes.
And
awesome.
You watched it? Were you up for the whole thing?
I watched, well, a total of maybe 4 hours of it.
Did you also hold your pee in solidarity?
Well, I did not. That's what I'm saying. I think in terms of winners and losers for the shutdown, I think Ted Cruz's bladder, total loser, because I mean,
for nothing, and then that's the point, really. That he does this for 21 hours, 19 minutes. He's a darling of conservatism. What do Republicans get out of it? What do conservatives get out of it? How does this play to an advantage or a strength in 2014?
Well, his filibuster, his 22-hour filibuster was, Ted Cruz's filibuster was much easier to understand for me than the heavily accented Penelope Cruz filibuster.
The Penelope
That
Cruz
was tough
filibuster.
for me. That was
She
a long
talking
21
about
hours.
the Obama cars, and okay. Let's go back to narrative 101, and
I don't know what's more offensive: me saying I smoked a joint with Ted Cruz, or you doing Penelope Cruz impressions?
Me doing Penelope Cruz impressions.
Okay.
Obviously.
Clearly.
What's saying to taste to me like that? You can't talk because I one time with Tom Cruise and pretend he's not gay.
Cruz.
Ted Cruz was never with Tom Cruise.
I agree.
God, that was a horrible segue.
Get that out of the way.
Ted Cruz never had sex with Tom Cruise. Here's the narrative. The narrative from the people on the right is eerily in sync with the people on the left right now. It's Ted Cruz shouldn't have done this. Ted Cruz shouldn't have put the focus on this because then we could have focused on the Obamacare rollout. That is complete bunk, okay? The Obamacare rollout was going to stink either way. We knew that. Ted Cruz is the one who brought the focus to Obamacare, whether people like it or not. And I posit that had the shutdown stuff not been giving the mainstream media cover, they would have been in full-time, 24/7 spin mode to cover for the Obamacare rollout faultiness. I think that they would have been spending their time just lying. They felt a little at ease because they could bitch about Cruz and the shutdown, and that gave some of them the freedom to go then actually complain about the rollout.
Did you get your Obamacare? I mean, did you sign up?
I've been playing with that site for 2 weeks just so I could know what I'm talking about.
Vicky?
My question is, how can he know when to send me emails every other day asking me for $5 when he can't get, because do you sign up for the Obama emails?
Yeah.
I get the OFA emails?
Can I have $5?
They are classic.
Just give me another $5. And then it's Michelle, can I have another $5? It's always $5.
Well, the cheap hookers know how to ask for $5. They don't know how to run healthcare.
But if you can flawlessly ask me for the $5 every 24 hours,
but you can't.
Can you get the site running?
It's because Constant Contact was made in America, and the Obamacare site was made in Canada. This is a Canadian firm, $600 million. All I know is we've got a ton of unemployment in America, and we can't figure out a stimulus package. There's nobody in the U.S. who can make a website.
There are no IT people.
Is there anybody in the audience who can make a website?
No IT
anybody
people in the US.
at all? One odd bald man can make a website. Is pretty much what we've got. Last question for you, Stephen. 2014. It's around the corner. We're in full election mode. This is happening. Does this shutdown affect Republicans or does it affect Democrats? And to a positive or to a negative?
I don't think it affects either at the moment, actually. I think long term, the things we've been talking about will affect the Democrats worse because Obamacare will still be being talked about in here. This shutdown isn't going to play one way or another that much. Even Nate Silver says so right now. We all know Nate Silver knows everything right now.
Isn't he going to ESPN? He had the 538 blog.
He went to ESPN and now he's on with Keith Olbermann, so we never hear much from him anymore.
That's just sad.
Because he's in a basement naked chained to something.
Well, maybe that's what he wants.
We aren't?
Huh?
No. No.
Wait.
But if you want to, that's a different While they go about finding true love, keep it right here. Stephen stays with us. We're joined by Kurt Schlichter and Joseph C. Phillips for the panel. This is Tony Katz Tonight. We'll be right back.